tonight is all about the awards, but there is also a very important draw to make for the Netball World Cup 2019, and I'm delighted to say it will happen in the next few minutes. As you can see, we are ready and poised. The draw will, of course, determine who will play each other in the Preliminaries Stage One of next summer's competition. I'm sure you're all very excited to find out who our England Roses might be facing in the competition next July. So, without further ado, before we commence with the draw, we have some very important people in the room today, and it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage, to say a few words, it's the INF President, the Honourable Molly Roan.
I've been talking to your answer phone, nah. Something tell me you don't want to know, nah. When I call you, you don't answer phone, nah. You don't love me, you should let me know, nah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, all my netballers, because you know you all belong to me, don't you? Well, what a pleasure it is for me to be here tonight at the Vitality Golden Globes, honoring so many wonderful, dedicated netball volunteers. Congratulations to you all. Without you, netball wouldn't be the huge success it is. You are truly an inspiration. The Netball World Cup is the International Netball Federation's pinnacle event, bringing together the 16 best teams in the world to compete against each other for the coveted World Cup trophy. Throughout the past year, regional qualifiers have been taking place, and I am delighted that Zimbabwe has made history by qualifying for its first ever World Cup. We are hugely excited to be holding this prestigious event in Liverpool next year. The city and its people are fabulous. The venue is first class, and the atmosphere will be electric. I would like to thank the World Cup Organizing Committee and its partners, England Netball, UK Sport, Liverpool City Council, and ACC Liverpool, for their hard work and dedication in ensuring that this will be a thrilling world-class event that we will all remember as the best Netball World Cup. The competition is going to be fierce, as each team competes not only to win the trophy, but also to improve their ranking. We will be witnessing top-class netball, played by fantastic athletes and empowering role models, watched by millions of fans around the world. I personally cannot wait. I wish you all a fantastic evening. Now, on with the draw.
Thank you very much, Molly. Now, let's have a little look at how the teams qualify for the Netball World Cup and just how tonight's draw will work. So, following that video, we can confirm that the groups currently look like this. So, of course, we're going to be completing those. We're going to first draw the nations from seeds 9 to 12, which are Scotland, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados and Zimbabwe. Each of these will be allocated to a group, and following this, we will then draw seeds 13 to 16, which will complete all of the groups for stage 1 of next year's competition. Now, earlier this week, the Netball World Cup held a prize draw for you guys for the Golden Globe Award attendees to assist in drawing the teams, and the winner of this prize draw is Jill Stevens. So, Jill, please can you make your way to the stage to join us? And can I also ask Netball World Cup technical delegate Joan Mills, who will be adjudicating the draw, to also join us on stage.
I've been talking to your answer phone, something tell me you don't want to know, When I call you don't answer phone, You don't love me, you should let me know,
Right, here goes then. No need to look so nervous, ladies. It all went well in rehearsals, we'll be fine. So, Molly, can I please ask you to place the numbered balls inside the box? The balls were, of course, provided to us very kindly by Gilbert Netball, the official ball supplier to the Netball World Cup 2019. They're going to go inside the box for drawing of seeds 9 to 12. For everyone's information, the following numbers are assigned to each nation. Number 9 is Scotland, number 10 is Trinidad and Tobago, number 11 is Barbados, and number 12 is Zimbabwe. Perfect. Now, our first team to be drawn will be allocated to position A3 and will therefore feature in the same group as Australia and Northern Ireland. So, Molly, you are first up. Please, can you pick the ball to determine who will be A3? Molly has picked out ball number 12, which is Zimbabwe. So let's take a little look at just how Zimbabwe got to the Netball World Cup 2019. There we have it, our first team drawn, and I was pleased to hear there was a few cheers in the room for that one, people obviously rooting for Zimbabwe there. So they are A3. We will now turn our attention to Group B, and we'll be drawing the team to be positioned in B3, which will join New Zealand Silver Ferns and Malawi Queens. So Jill, you are next up. Please could you select the next team for us? Jill has selected ball number 11, which is Barbados. A nice round of applause to them as well, that's brilliant. We are now going to take a little look at how they've made it to next year's competition. So this is how Group B currently looks. We're now going to move, though, to Group C, which will feature the world number 4, the Jamaica Sunshine Girls, and number 5, South Africa Proteas. The next team to be drawn out will join these nations as C3. So, Molly, If you could step forward once again, please, and draw us the next team. Ball number 10, which is Trinidad and Tobago. Let's take a little look at their path to the Netball World Cup 2019. So Group C has one other team in it. That's how it's looking as it stands. We have just one final place remaining, which is in Group D. And I'm sure this is the one that you guys might be pretty excited about. A few notable teams in there, of course. Commonwealth Game champions and the world number 2, the England Roses, along with the Uganda She Cranes, who the Roses will play in a 3-game series, of course, in November. So Jill, if you could please step forward and get me out the final ball for this section to confirm who will join the Roses and the She Cranes. It is ball number 9, which is Scotland. Thought you might like that one. Let's see how Scotland have made it to next year's competition. Well, look at that. That does conclude the first half of the World Cup draw for 2019. So we're just going to recap it for you now. Zimbabwe were drawn as A3 and will join the Australian Diamonds and Northern Ireland in Group A. Group B will feature the New Zealand Silver Ferns, Malawi Queens and Barbados, who were drawn as B3. C3 was allocated to the Trinidad and Tobago side, and they joined Jamaica and South Africa. And finally, the one you guys were all waiting for, joining the England Roses and Uganda She Cranes in Group D was Scotland. So a very interesting first half of the draw. But we're now going to turn our attention to seed 13 and 16, and this includes Fiji, Samoa, Singapore and Sri Lanka. So we're going to actually reverse the order of the draw now, not to confuse you. We're just going to reverse it, so I'll go from Group D, then C, then B, then A. Nice and simple, I think. So Molly, as we did before, could you please place the balls into the box for us? Now, as this section is for seeds 13 to 16, each numbered ball will represent the following nations. Number 13 is Fiji, number 14 is Samoa, number 15 is Singapore, and number 16 is Sri Lanka. So the first team drawn into this section will be allocated to position D4 and will join England, Uganda, and Scotland. So Molly, having placed the balls in, could you please now draw the first ball for section D, please? That is number 14, which is Samoa. A round of applause for Samoa. Now let's take a look at how Samoa have made it to next year's competition in Liverpool. So Samoa, the latest to come out of the pot. That actually concludes Group D now, and we're going to turn our attention back to Group C, which already features the Jamaica Sunshine Girls, South Africa Proteas, and Trinidad and Tobago. So Jill, if you could please step forward once again and draw our next ball to determine who will be C4 in the draw. It is ball number 13, which is Fiji. Any Fiji fans in the house? A few, maybe. Let's have a little look back on how they've got to the World Cup and all of their recent achievements. So this is how Group C is now looking. It's getting complete. We're nearly there. So there's just 2 more teams to draw now, and the next one will be in B4, and will compete against the New Zealand Silver Ferns, Malawi Queens, and Barbados. So Molly, you back up again, please. Could you please inform us who this will be? Ball number 15, which is Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. As we place that ball down, let's take a little look back on their recent achievements. As you can see, just 1 ball left to come out of that pot. Just 1 more team to draw in this World Cup draw for 2019. They will, of course, feature in Group A alongside defending World Cup holders Australia, Northern Ireland, and Zimbabwe. So, Jill, please could you go and get that 1 lonely ball out of the pot and finalise this World Cup draw for us? Nothing wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. It's perfect. Number 16, as we were expecting, which is, of course, Sri Lanka. So let's take a little look at their route to the World Cup in 2019. So that does conclude our draw for the Netball World Cup 2019. But I just have to briefly check with our technical delegate, Joan Mills, that you are happy with the draw. Good news, she is happy. That is the official World Cup draw for 2019. Yeah, a round of applause. Let's have a round of applause. A big thank you to the ladies who have helped us, of course, with that. Please give another huge round of applause to INF President, our very special guest this evening, Molly Roan, Jill Stevens for assisting with the draw, and of course, Joan Mills, Netball World Cup 2019 Technical Delegate. So now we're just going to recap, in case you did miss any of that, let's have a look at who the final groups are for the preliminary stage one of the Netball World Cup 2019. So Group A is confirmed as the Australian Diamonds, Northern Ireland, Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka. Group B features the New Zealand Silver Ferns, Malawi Queens, Barbados and Singapore. Group C will be contested by Jamaica Sunshine Girls, South Africa Proteas, Trinidad and Tobago and Fiji. And finally, the one we were all waiting for, Group D includes our very own England Roses. Let's have a round of applause for them again, ladies and gentlemen. The Uganda She Cranes, Scotland and Samoa. The matches featuring these teams will be played across the first 3 days of the competition, which is, in case you don't know by now, is next summer, the 12th to the 14th of July 2019, before the teams then advance into the next stages of the competition. So all very exciting, and I've got something even more exciting for you now. I'm going to hand over to Hannah, who is joined by a very special guest.
I certainly am, Kelly. Thank you very much. I'm joined by a lady that has got so many credentials. I've had to get a pen and just write mark after mark here, because I'm joined by a lady that has really, really made her mark on the Vitality Netball Super League. She's been the top goal scorer for the last 2 seasons, so I seem to interview her and talk to her every time. So level-headed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Peace Praskovia. Now, Peace, having seen the draw, how do you think Uganda are going to perform?
Well, it's amazing, and all I can say is that we are going to come in strong. As usual, we are not going to participate, we are going to compete, and that's the world of netball. It's going to be interesting.
Listen to that fighting talk already. We already just see the draw. I love it. Every single time you're so positive and so focused. Now, we're in a room full of people that have done very, very inspiring things, volunteers, people behind the scenes. What kind of journey have you had, and how do you reflect on such a great evening tonight, looking at all these volunteers here?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the volunteers for coming up to support netball. The world of netball evolves around them, and how we perform well is just because of them. If people do not sacrifice themselves for other people, then the world cannot be a good place. Congratulations for your award, and please keep on the work. We are here because of you, and we will continue to work together with you.
Round of applause, please. Amazing. Now, you've been here in England. Now, how excited are you going to be for the World Cup 2019?
Well, I see a very interesting netball, because where netball is heading to now is very amazing, and it gives great hope for me, and it gives great future for the young generation that netball is a very competitive game. World Cup is going to be interesting because all the teams that they have listed up there, none of them just came like that. They worked hard, and they are champions in all the regions in which they participated. That alone makes me know that there are good teams all together, which makes it interesting.
It certainly does. And what's also interesting is your journey next year, because you're going to be moving away, just a few miles away, aren't you?
Well, it's heartbreaking, and it's a joy at the same time. And first of all, I would like to thank England Netball for accommodating me here. I would like to thank Loughborough Lightning. I would like to thank Loughborough University and Gilbert Netball, all other sponsors, most importantly, the volunteers that also sacrificed their lives for me to. It's been an amazing stay in England. England became my home. But in the world of sports, you don't have to be comfortable where you are. You have to challenge your ability. And the fact that I have to challenge my ability as a netball player is what has made me to move. But I'll always move with England at heart. I love England and can't wait to come back for World Cup next year.
Well, we absolutely love you. Ladies and gentlemen, Peace Praskovia. Over to you, Kelly.
Yes, thank you, Hannah and Peace. Now that does conclude our Netball World Cup 2019 draw. We hope this has got you even more excited if you weren't excited enough for next year. It's going to be an incredible event. And do not forget that if you haven't got your tickets, then I don't know what you've been doing, but you can do it from 10 a.m. next Wednesday, the 19th of September, when the pre-sale ends. You can get them then. Now, your main courses are going to be served very shortly, but first up, we've got a little video just to whet your appetite about the Netball World Cup.
Now I'm standing here with no standard broom, waiting on an old man to grab my back.